and welcome to another episode of Rooster Reviews. Today's going to be a little different. We are not going to be reviewing a movie or TV show, or even a book for that matter. We are going to be doing a reaction to the new Thor Love and Thunder trailer. So let's dive in. It starts off really fun with Thor running through the woods and training, kind of shedding some of that endgame weight that he put on, which, I'm a little sad to see Lebowski Thor leave. If you can't tell from what I'm wearing, that is my favorite iteration so far in film that they've done. Well, he had to go, right? It is what it is. We had to get muscular Chris Hemsworth back. So we see him kind of running through and training, and it's very colorful and Flash Gordon-esque, which I love about this. It always reminds me of that. Then you have Sweet Child of Mine come in and start playing, giving it that same sort of 80s feel that Taika gave Ragnarok. He's obviously continuing with that and putting that kind of whimsical uh, fantasy into this version as well, into this movie. We get a shot of some new gods. We get a shot of Zeus. We get a shot of one of the gods that Gore the God Butcher kills straight out of the comics, which that leads me into talking about the villain of the story. He's played by Christian Bale. We don't see him in the trailer. I'm assuming it's because they probably want to save him for a more in-depth trailer later on down the line. But he does what his namesake says. He's a god butcher. He's trying to eliminate all the gods and from the MCU. So obviously Thor is in his sights. This Thor is, he's not really the king of Asgard right now. He's not an Avenger. He's kind of letting all those things go and just adventuring and having fun. There's a very Princess Bride-esque, Stardust-like quality to him on the pirate ships and adventuring and having fun. We see the Guardians of the Galaxy kind of send him off on his journey, and I think that's kind of their only role in this. I think they're only going to show up in the beginning. They're going to send him off on his journey, and this is going to be a very Thor-centered movie, like it should be, and we'll catch up with them in their own film later on. We see Valkyrie in what looks like a boardroom, looking like she's probably over it all, so the politics of being king is really getting to her. We see Lady Thor, or shame on me, not Lady Thor, just Thor. Jane Foster as Thor, Natalie Portman in the helmet, in the gear, straight out of the comics as well. They did an amazing job with this costume. I'm super excited about it. She looks fantastic, and from what they're saying, they're going to adapt a lot of the Jason Aaron run in this, which is my favorite run of the character. It's probably one of my top favorite runs in comic books, period. And what's so great about it to me is Jane Foster's character in that comic book run is going through cancer as she's wielding Mjolnir and becoming a hero and taking the mantle of Thor as her own. Why that's so important to me is because for the past 3 years I had battled cancer, and this year I was able to beat it, thankfully. But during those 3 years is when I was reading this comic. So it did mean a lot to me. It did get me through a lot of hard times by giving me the positivity that I needed to keep going. So I'm very, very excited about this iteration. I'm super excited that they're taking elements from the entire Jason Aaron run with Gore the God Butcher and Jane Foster, and it just looks like they're really deep diving into this particular storyline, and that's exciting to me. Gore the God Butcher is going to be an interesting villain, especially for this movie, because Taika Waititi's style is very, like I said before, Flash Gordon, kind of synth pop. There's a lot of humor injected into it, and Gore the God Butcher is not a humorous villain. That is not like a character that lends itself well to being made fun of necessarily. He's pretty dark. The storylines are very dark with him. They're very Beowulf like, kind of gritty, kind of Skyrim like. So it'll be interesting to see that dynamic and see how he juggles it. I mean, he's a talented filmmaker, so I think he's going to be able to do just fine with it. But I think it's going to be a film like we haven't seen from him. It's not going to necessarily have his brand on it. Like he's going to flex some directorial muscles in it, and I'm excited to see it. I really want to know what you guys think about it. Please sound off in the comments if you think it's good, if you think it's bad, if you have questions about the storyline in the comics, I'd be happy to answer them. I love talking about this stuff. Or if you just want to say what's up and if I did a good job or not for you. Thanks again, and this has been another episode of Rooster Reviews. Please leave a like and subscribe.